transitioning from bedside nursing, like, you know, as a nurse, we juggle through a lot of things, guys. We try to figure things out. We are constantly pushing from schedule to schedule, from shift to shift, and we're always struggling on how can we transition, right? How can we leave this secure job to something that we are not sure about? And that is one of the fears I had, and that is one of the fears a lot of nurses have. They're like, I just have a steady income and I'm okay with that. But talking to a lot of nurses who are trying to become entrepreneurs, it's hard. It's hard for them to transition. It's hard for them to try to find something that gives them some form of security. So my take on this is that I'm just trying to let you guys know that you have to try to shift. Don't just do a very abrupt transition, right? Because then that's gonna lead to failure, and that's gonna lead to you wanting to go back to work. So it's a slow transition. Everything is a process, right? Create a plan. Have a plan, have a goal. If you have a goal, and let's say 2 years from today, I want to retire as a bedside nurse. But what are you doing? What are your plans? How is your credit? Some of us, when I was trying to transition, I didn't have good credit. And to tell you the truth, where I came from Cameroon, we don't know about credit. Credit is not part of anything, okay? So I just knew about credit in the United States, and nobody ever taught me about how to manage my credit. Okay, I knew credit card was bad. I had a credit card and I kept using it. I didn't know the importance of paying your credit card on time, making sure your utilization score is good. I didn't know about all of that until a couple of years ago when I was trying to transition. And they're like, you're denied. You're denied. I'm like, but why am I being denied? I have a job. So I came to realize that having a job is not everything. So let's say you are a nurse and you want to transition. Some of my takeaways is that you have to work on your credit, right? We don't know. I do not know anything about credit, and I said that already. You have to look at your goals. What is it you're trying to do? If you want to leave bedside nursing, if you want to retire, you don't just want to do it abruptly, right? You want to make sure your credit is good, because that income is really good. A lot of lenders or banks will love that because it's some form of security, some form of stability. But then you get this letter saying, sorry, you've been denied, and you don't know why. And that's what it is. It's just that our credit is not good. You have not really looked at, okay, this is my plan, right? And this is what I want to do. I want to start this business. I want to start that business. I want to get a house. I want to get a couple of properties. But then you're missing the big thing. What is my credit looking like? Okay. So in that aspect, you have to work on that. And another thing is, a lot of people, when they want to work on their credit, they want an overnight something, right? You want these things to be deleted right away. That's not how it works. I was frustrated as well, and I didn't know that that's not how it works. But it took me a while to learn that. Once I learned that it's a process. It's just like you imagine going to nursing school and finishing nursing school and applying for a job and going through an interview. That's just how it is. It's a process, and you got to be patient throughout. And you have to also set some form of discipline, okay? Especially knowing that it's time for you to start prioritizing, okay? Before you get this luxury bag, did you pay for that mentorship? Did you invest in yourself? Did you find somebody to hold your hand? Before you try to use this credit card, or if you're trying to swipe a credit card and you realize that your goal for the month is to at least invest in a studio space or invest in something, before you want to get the nice looking outfit, did you invest in that? So those are the little transitions we want to look into, especially, like I said, transitioning from bedside nursing, going out there to the unknown and becoming an entrepreneur. You want to look at those little things. Another thing was that if you just go out abruptly without a plan, it's not going to work. And that's why a lot of people say, oh, that doesn't work, because you don't have a plan. You went out there, you were lost, you tried to Google and YouTube everything, you didn't invest in yourself, your credit was messed up, and then you find yourself, oh my God, it didn't work, this is not real, I'm going to go back to work. So to all my nurses out there, to all my entrepreneurs out there, to all my nursepreneurs out there, if you're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, just just make sure that you have a plan. Just make sure that you are really digging deep into your finances. And I know, listen, I know finances are the most uncomfortable things sometimes we want to deal with, but that's the hard truth. That's the hard reality. Those are the things you need to look at to figure out, okay, my expenses for the month is 7,000. You literally have to take a pen and a paper, not on your phone, but you have to write it down, outline all of your expenses, and figure out what it is that you don't need right now. Because guess what? Once you attain a certain level of financial freedom, you're going to get everything you need. But until then, don't luxuriously treat yourself. I mean, you can do it every now and then, but it's time for you to try to cut back on those expenses that you don't that you don't need. Last year I went on two vacations, and I have not. I used to love to travel when I was a nurse because I worked extra hours and I had the time to just go around and just do whatever. But when I realized that I did not want to work as a nurse anymore. I did not want to work until I'm 65 years old. I had to start making some changes. That was when reality hit me, and I asked myself, what is it I want to really become? Who do I want to spend my time with? Do I want to be fully present for my kids? And how can I do that? Do I want to travel luxuriously? So I had to cut back on traveling for a couple of years. And last year, after, so much going on, and I felt like I've achieved a lot. And I had to take 2 trips in 1 month. It was my birthday. It was my birth month. So I felt like I deserved it. But it was the sacrifices throughout the time. My birthday or my birth month, I always love to travel and do something special. But it took me at least 3 years for me to not travel, for me to not, go out there and, immerse in just self-care, just go out there and just immerse in luxury, and saved up or invested in other things that I felt like were much needed at the time. So I could have that time, that freedom, and that finances to be able to do it 2, 3 years down the road, right? So those are the little things you have to think about. Now I'm not saying go out there and just stop doing everything. I'm just saying go out there and look at the hard truth. Face what it is you don't want to face. Is it the fear of the fact that you can't spoil yourself as much as you used to? Is it the fear of the fact that, oh my God, if somebody looks at my credit, they'll be like, yeah, what you've been doing, your credit is terrible. But those are the hard truths. Once you realize that those are the hard truths, you're really going to get help. You're really going to be honest with yourself and be like, oh my God, you know what? I need help. It's time for me to really, make some changes. And look at your goals. Look at what do you want to achieve in 3 years? Where do you want to be? Who do you want to spend your time with? Okay. What islands do you want to travel? Do you want to travel first class? I'm always dreaming about I've been to Dubai, but I want to fly to Dubai first class. I see the first class on Instagram, and it's so pretty. So what kind of house do you want to live in? How many investment properties do you want to have? Go out there and just look at those goals. And when you're looking at your goals, write it down, right? Don't do it on the phone, guys. I always say, I always say, do it on your take a pen and a piece of paper and literally write it down. Because when you write things down, it sticks. Because that is you saying, I am going to do this. Okay, that is you saying, I'm assuming full responsibility for this. So when you write down your goals, like right now, take a pen and a paper and write down 10 things you want to accomplish in this life. Let's just start with 10 because it's real easy, right? 10 things you want to accomplish. Now you've written those down. Another thing is I want you to go across each one and put a number to it. Like in the next, let's say you want to travel. Let's say you want to buy your first rental property. I want to buy my first rental property. Put a 1, a 2, or a 3. Put each numbers to those things and look at it. So if you put number 2, the number 2 stands for the number of years it's going to take you to accomplish that goal. So in 2 years' time, I want to get my first rental property. Woo, that sounds good, right? And then, in 3 years' time, I want to, get my house. What kind of house do you want to live in? Do you want to splurge in a house where you have help people taking care of you. You can take care of your kids at home. You don't have to worry about anything. What kind of bed do you want to sleep on? What kind of bathroom do you envision yourself in? In how many years do you want to accomplish that? So when you put a number across each one, I want you to take out the first four and start prioritizing. Okay, which one is my number one priority? And how do I get there? So when you write down a goal, you have to it's like a roadmap. You have to write a how. Like, how do you get there? Okay, work on my credit. What is the credit score do I want to be? What is my utilization rate? Okay, what kind of credit cards do I want to have? Because not every credit card is good. So you have to look out for those things. Now, I'm not a credit card guru. I'm just speaking out of experience, right? What kind of credit cards do you want to have? And how do you want to safely invest in those things? How do you want to safely invest in things that it's really going to make sense to you? Who do you want to be around with during this period of transition? Because I tell you what, when you start transitioning, a lot of things are going to change. The people you hang around with, what you say it, how you walk with your head up high, how you smile, how you respond, how you react to a lot of things. Who do you want to become throughout this whole process? And those are the little things that, you know, it helped me during my transition. I realized that I could not just abruptly move. I mean, I did it a couple of times and it didn't work. And it was like, okay, something is not working. So I realized that if you abruptly do it, it's not going to work. But it's a process. So my nurses, if you want to transition, it's a great thing, but at the same time, you have to do it in a smart way. You have to do it in a way that you will sit back and you'll be like, oh my God, this really does work. Okay. Another thing, a lot of people say, oh my God, mentorship is so expensive. I can't afford it. How many Gucci bags do you have? How many designer bags do you have? Do you really need those? Maybe you need to cut down on getting things that you don't need right now. Because let's take this, okay? Like it's those designer purses are really expensive. But if you sum it all, looking at it in your closet, it's really not bringing any money to you. So maybe it's time for you to stop investing in those things or cut down from investing in those things and saving towards getting a mentor. Or another way I always want to tell you guys is how to invest in a mentor without really paying. Yeah, it's a real good trick. What do you have that you can be of service to that person? Okay, you can serve somebody without having to pay them a dime. What is it that you have? I went to a Tony Robbins event a couple of months ago, and they came out, oh, this is what this is how much it costs. And I was like, so I stepped back, we're out there, we're talking about it, and somebody really said something that stuck to me. And he was like, what is it that you have? Because one of my friends, she couldn't afford what it is we were selling at the time. But he said, what do you do? And she said, oh, I do this and that. And he was like, go out there to the front, because the people in the front, they got it, they're financially stable. Go out to the front and just talk to somebody, offer them your service. That's a really great way, guys. Listen, that is like a cheat code. What is it that you have? A lot of us are scared to approach somebody who is really, wealthy, or who got it going. But I tell you, there's one thing that they lack, and you might be of great service to them. Just going out there, hanging around them, you are gonna learn a lot. And always make sure you walk with your notebook and a pen. Always try to be of service to that person and offer them your service. There's no way, right? You're gonna offer somebody your service and they really need that and they will tell you no. There's absolutely no way. Just going out there, hanging around them, you are gonna learn a lot. And always make sure you walk with your notebook and a pen. Always try to be of service to that person and offer them your service. There's no way, right? You're gonna offer somebody your service and they really need that and they will tell you no. There's absolutely no way. Offer them your service and be genuine about it. Be true to who you are. What is it you have that you can be of service to this person? Because a lot of us shy away if we are still in the consumer mindset. I was. If we are still in the consumer mindset, it's really hard for us to pay somebody. As crazy as that sounds, right? It's hard for us to pay somebody to mentor us. It's a lot easier for us to go to the store and buy something that is not useful. So just that's a consumer mindset. You're going to consume something versus you investing in something else because you're thinking, oh my God, I got to give you all this money. But yeah, you can take that money and go buy you a nice designer shoe, right? So what is it? It takes it's not an overnight journey. It takes a while for you to shift from that mindset, for you to shift from that space of invest from being a consumer to actually being what's the word I'm trying to use here? I can't. From being a consumer to actually being I can't I can't find the word. But it's a huge shift, right? So what is it that you have that you can be of service to somebody else, to be of service to a mentor, to somebody you look up to somebody in who has what you want to accomplish in life. And when I say a mentor, it's not just any type of mentor, right? Right. So let's say your goal is to get into real estate, construction. You're gonna have to find somebody in that niche, somebody who is really successful at it, and you're gonna have to invest in them. So let's say that they need an assistant, or they need somebody that will run their errands, or they need somebody that will schedule their whatever it is they have going on. Try to find a way to get in that space and offer them that service. That's a cheat code right there. You can't beat that. Okay, you cannot. Like I said, you cannot walk up to somebody and offer them a service that they need and they say no. Okay, now think about it, you haven't really paid for anything, but you've gotten in their space and you're gonna provide them. Don't just get in their space and be lazy, but make sure you over deliver. You over deliver, and you have to be teachable, you have to be coachable, you have to be humble, you have to continuously work on yourself. Personal development is key because once they see the kind of person that you are, physically, mentally, and spiritually, they are going to open up to a lot of things and they're going to let you into their personal space because you have created a certain level of trust, of honesty, of humility, of hard work that they look at, okay, this is somebody I can keep in my corner because I really love and admire her work ethic. So that's a cheat code right there. Another thing I want to talk about is, as a nurse, mindset, right? Mindset is key. Um, Imagine just being a nurse your whole life. All you know it's clocking in, taking care of patients, passing meds, checking on your labs, and then all of a sudden you want to become a clothing line. You want to start your own scrub line, or you want to start your own clothing line per se. Now, those are two different career paths. Or no, you one of them is you becoming an entrepreneur, and that is you going to the unknown. And one of them is you being in other job that you're struggling to like, and you really don't, but it's paying the bill, so you're comfortable in that space, but you're not happy. So how can you switch up from this mindset of I have to move from this space to that space, but who do I have to become to be that kind of person? Because as an entrepreneur, guys, it's hard. It's a journey, it's a process, it's rough. You have good days, you have bad days. It's a life of the unknown. It's a world, let's not say a life, it's a world of the unknown. Nothing is certain, okay? Your paycheck is not certain, your payday is not certain. But you have to find a way to invest in your mind. You have to read books because once you start getting into that clothing line business, life starts throwing curveballs at you, you're going to get discouraged. But you have to find that one thing that hype you up. One of the things I always say is stay away from energy drainers, okay? Stay away from somebody who says, oh my God, yeah, I don't even know why you quit your job. You could have been working an extra 12 hours just to pay the. Stay away from those type of people who kept telling you that I don't know why you did this, I don't know what you're trying to do. Try to get in the space of people or of peers that are out there crushing it, that are out there, in the mindset of go getting, in the mindset of no matter what, this is what I want to achieve, and I'm going to achieve that at all costs. Read books, read personal development books, listen to podcasts, go out to meetups, and just splurge yourself in those things, because that really helps you find a mental outlet. I'm really big at mental outlet, right? Because sometimes, on my low days, I have to go back to my mental outlet. I have to go back to the books and read what are my goals, and figure out why I'm doing what I am doing. And sometimes I take 15, 20 minutes and I just go in the room and I turn off the light, or I close the curtains and I just lay on the bed and I breathe. Or sometimes I go in the shower and I scream. So find a mentor outlet. Or sometimes I give my mentor a call and I really talk to her about the challenges I'm facing. But we all have to have that mental outlet, because once life starts throwing those curveballs at you, that's one of the things that is really going to help. It's going to help you go through that phase. I'm not saying it's a phase that you can just go through just like that, but it's a phase that once you have somebody, something you can lean on, it really helps the transition a little bit easier, and it's a lot more, a lot less stressful. Another thing, guys, as a nursepreneur, okay, which is what I'm really excited about. Um, one of the I'm going to talk to you guys about the streams of income, right? So we have multiple streams of income. Bedside nursing, is it for the time being, but one of the streams of income I realized, I figured out when I started was real estate investing, but I didn't realize that real estate investing is so broad, okay? Multiple streams of income. Here's one way you can invest. Real estate, and when I talk about real estate can be broken down in so many ways. You have become an Airbnb host. I just became a premier host on VRBO. Woohoo! It took me about 2 years to get to that stage. You have a super host, and then you have a premier host. Now, premier host is the top. So once you're a premier host, it's a lot of opportunities for you, because you can charge more, and you are the number one on the search. So let's say somebody wants to go to Atlanta, Georgia, and they're trying to find a place. You are right there in front of them, and your status says premier host. So you've attained a certain level of customer service that it allows people to trust you more to invest in that space. So I am heavy on the short-term rentals. And when we talk about short-term rentals, where we talk about Airbnbs, I'm heavy on the short-term rental space, and it's something I've loved to do. And my career as a nurse in providing customer service has really helped me in the way I talk and react to certain things. Even me working on myself, especially because you're dealing with human beings, you're dealing with people who have different emotions. Okay, people come at you, people talk crazy, so you have to catch yourself at some point. So that's one of the ways. Short-term rentals, Airbnbs, and with the Airbnb, it can be a little bit tricky. Not every property or not every house is an Airbnb. I just want to let you guys know, when you're trying to look for an Airbnb, the one thing I want you to stay away from is houses that have HOAs, because they're really strict on not letting Airbnbs there. But that's the way Airbnb, short-term rentals, mid-term rentals, however it is you call it. Another way is maybe you want to start a scrub business. And look at Fabletics. They started a scrub business. Look at what's this other one called? Figs. Maybe you want to start a scrub business. That's another one. There's a lot of businesses out there. Maybe you're passionate about cooking. Maybe you wanna cook and cater for people, and that's another stream of income you want to add into that. And real estate, again, let's talk about real estate. New construction. Maybe you want to get into the new construction space, and you want to really focus on building luxury homes, okay? That's another space. Maybe you want to become a realtor. That's another multiple stream of income right there. And also, I found insurance. Maybe you want to be a licensed insurance agent, a licensed life insurance agent, IULs. You want to educate the community on the importance of IULs, and the importance of having insurance. I know most of us, when we hear about insurance, we are like, oh, I'm gonna die. That's what we're thinking about. Oh, I'm gonna die, and la la la, somebody's gonna try to kill me. But as I am a life insurance agent, right? As a life insurance agent, you learn so much and you realize that, oh my God, it's not just about death, but it's about investing. Okay. You're investing in yourself. And once you're investing in yourself and you really read and understand what it's all about, you're like, damn, why did I not know about this whole time? And that was exactly what I said to myself, because that was how I felt. And I called my mentor. I was like, why did I not know about this the whole time? Yes, and you ask yourself, why did you not know about it? Because the concept, the perception about insurance is about dying, right? People think about insurance, they think about death, but that's not what it is. At the end of the day, when you help somebody, you get paid also. So that's another stream of income right there. Another thing I want to talk about is maybe you want to be a coach, or you want to coach certain people in certain aspects. Guys, that's a lot of things that we can tap into as nurses, from the bedside to going out there and exploring, because the world is huge. The sky is our limit, or even beyond the sky. And just to say that you don't have to feel like you are stuck at the bedside, juggling from one nursing assignment to the other, or juggling from strike to strikes. I loved being a nurse. I'm grateful for it. And it's a career that opens so many paths for me. But at the end of the day, it was not what I wanted to become, because I wanted to be at home more. I wanted to be more present with my kids, wanted to be more present with what I want to really achieve in life. And that is just becoming really successful in the real estate world, and in the new construction world, in the Airbnb world. And that was what I was leaning towards, because the financial freedom, the time to spend time with family, the travel, the luxury of everything is really what I wanted. So with that being said, figure out what it is you want, go out there, invest in you, read a lot of books, and just go out there and crush it. These are the three books I read, or the three books I love to read. Jim Rohn. If you go to Audible, just search Jim Rohn, okay? And whatever it is you find, read it. Okay. I love that. I've read it like 3 times already. That was the first book I read, and I found it on YouTube at first, but I gained so much from it. I was like, where can I really have a whole knowledge of these things? So I went to Audible. But Jim Rohn Personal Development, if you search that on Audible, listen to that, take notes, like just splurge on it and just let it sink in. I would say dedicate, guys, this is about discipline. Okay, it's not easy for you to just start reading books, no, especially if it's not something you're trying to do. But let's break it this way. Take it slow. Start with 20 minutes. Okay, maybe you're driving to work, or maybe you're going to the gym. 20 minutes just listening to something on Audible, Jim Rohn. He's going to really break it down for you. Personal development, he will impact you with so many things. And don't just read just because, but read and listen, read and really, oh my God, that was good. And if you find a point that you feel like that was good and you're driving, pause it and let it sink in. Just think about it for a while. you know um just maybe you want to meditate over that, because sometimes if you just go through it so quick, you don't really get the message. But think about it for a while and just let it be like, okay, that was a good point. I should practice. That would be what I'll practice today, and go out there and just practice that. I love that book. And another thing is, I personally dedicate an hour now. It took me a while to get there, okay? I dedicate an hour of reading. So let's say you want to read from 1 to 2. And this is where we talk about non-negotiables, okay? When you're transitioning, you're going to have non-negotiables, okay? You're going to have to figure out, when should I pick up this phone call? Or where should my phone be at when I'm trying to read? When I'm trying to involve in my personal development, because I can't take care of you if I don't take care of me, right? I mean, you're a train wreck. You can't take care of nobody if you're not there physically, mentally, emotionally, right? So dedicate an hour after you've gone from these 15 minutes to 30 minutes to an hour. Let that hour be your non-negotiable. Let that hour be the time where the phone is on do not disturb, and you're only reading, and you have a notebook in front of you, and you're writing down those points. Write down those points, listen to that book, immerse in it, think about it, meditate about it. and go out there and practice, okay? Because I haven't read any other book about personal development besides that one. If you guys have any recommendations, please send my way. That's a really good book that you should read. And another book is Profits First. That's good because as a nurse, listen, okay, we don't know nothing about profits or managing finances. All we know is to go to the store and shop. Profits First is a good book. If you are trying to transition, it's gonna help you break down your finances. It gets in the uncomfortable space we don't want to face. You bring out you're earning 3,000 a month. It breaks down how the $3,000 should be split up. 10, 20, 30, whatever it is. Just read that book and take down notes. It is really, really, really good. Another one is Think and Grow Rich. That's a lot about mindset. Whew. That one is so good. I didn't want to read it, listen to it on Audible because I feel like I didn't get a lot of information out of that. But I have the hard copy. So the hard copy, I started reading that in New York when I was working during the COVID, and I would read it in the bus when we're going to work. That book really transitioned me a lot. It helped me so much, and I didn't really realize it. And sometimes you read something at a first glance, and you're like, okay, let me go back and just figure out what is it this book is trying to tell me. And then you start going from page to page, from line to line. You're underlining certain things because it's making sense. And guys, this is a really I also there a lot of other things out there. Rich Dad Poor Dad is a great book. Real estate. It opens up your mind about real estate. But when you read these books, I don't just want you to read books. I want you to listen to the message. What is this message about this book all about? What is it trying to tell me? And practice something like from my personal development with Jim Rohn. He talked about dedicating 15 to 20 minutes. No, that wasn't a personal development. I think that was um I can't remember what it was. It was something about I was a mindset book, but I can't really remember. Oh my God, I'm still reading that book. But it really helped me. It was by Norman Vincent Peale. It talked about dedicating 15 to 20 minutes to yourself every single day. And it says, go in a quiet space, just don't think about anything, just breathe. And maybe you're on the beach, right? And just listen to the waves, just listen to um, the waves going, coming and going. Just listen to the birds. Just be quiet and just let life feel yourself in life, okay, and just relax. That really helps you break away from everything, and that really helps you refresh yourself to come back into the world and face things with a clearer and better mind. And those were one of my takeaways, and I've been practicing that, and it helps a lot because I didn't know I have ADHD until now, but I really do. I cannot stay still. And at the end of the day, I started doing that, I started practicing that. It's really helping to detach away from certain things. And just the act that, oh my God, we cannot stay away from our phones, right? Just the fact that you have to keep your phone somewhere and go into a different space. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to miss this phone call. But then I realized I'm really not missing anything because guess what? I went in there to take care of me so I can come out and take care of these phone calls. I can come out and take care of these other people who need me, my clients, my family needs me, but I have to exit from them for 15 to 20 minutes. And no matter who calls, if it's an important call, don't leave a message and I'll call them back. If they don't leave a message, it was just a call. And so read those books. It will really help to transition your mind. And also as nurses, we do have a lot of nursepreneurs out there, okay? And I'm going to be bringing some of them to this podcast because I want you guys to know to get into this entrepreneurial life. And one source of income is not enough anymore. Get into the habit of going to branches. If you see a nurse event in town, just go hang around there, just go for brunch. And you will realize that, oh my God, you're not the only person trying to do this. It's a lot of other nurses just like you trying to do it. So some people make best friends as an entrepreneur. Maybe you might go out and you meet another best friend that you guys are just good at it, and you guys just exchange knowledge, and you guys just collaborate and just go big. So go out there and meet a lot of like-minded individuals, like-minded nurses. Okay, I did not know there were a lot of nursepreneurs out there until I started, and I was like, damn, really? We are really this good. We are really going out and trying to live the bedside nursing. So try to figure out, you know, ways you can interact with other nurses. And like I said, don't just go and try to sell, but feel the environment, be of service. Try to listen to the other person. What is it that they have going on? What is it that they have to offer? Maybe you need that, or maybe you don't. Maybe you just need their contact information for brunch sometimes. And that really is going to help you because you guys are not talking about picking extra shifts, right? But you guys are talking about, oh my God, I want to make six figures in the next year or so as an entrepreneur. And you guys are coming up with ways to do that. You guys are coming up with ways to transition from the bedside and fully retiring to becoming your own boss, right? So that is another thing. Those books will help you in just going out there and becoming um, being with other nurses. And I also want to talk about gratitude. Like gratitude is like a biggie, okay? And sometimes, I've really tried to not fall off the wagon with that one. And this is what it is. You can't ask God for more when you don't really appreciate what you already have. There's no way He's gonna give you more. You're just gonna be angry and complain all the time. So here's the little things. This is how you want to start your day. You have to be in control of your day. When you wake up, okay, instead of you going to your phone and checking out your emails, your Instagram, I want you to make it a habit to take a pen and a notebook. Just start by getting any nice little notebook from the store and write down 5 things you're grateful for that day. As simple as it is, and be very intentional about it. Gratitude is key, guys. Gratitude is really key. What are you grateful for? You're grateful for waking up alive, healthy, and well. Because guess what? Somebody got shot last night. You don't know. Somebody died in the hospital last night. You don't know. But you gotta, excuse me. But you woke up and you are there and you are in the presence of the loved ones and everybody's having good health. Maybe that's something you want to be grateful about. And maybe you paid your rents that day, or maybe you paid your rents that month. Maybe you paid your credit card and your credit score went up. You want to be grateful about that thing too. You want to be really specific. You want to be grateful for your five senses. You can see, you can walk, you can touch, you can feel, you can do everything. You want to be grateful about those little things. And they say I was complaining about not having slippers until I met somebody without legs. So those are the little things you want to look around and say, God, thank you. And then another trick is that when you're being grateful, I want you to be grateful in advance for what you've accomplished. Okay. Now, this really depends on your goals. What is really your goals? Okay. What do you want to really accomplish? Um, Maybe you want to get accepted into this mentorship program. Maybe you want to raise funds or you want to raise some money to be able to invest in this mentorship. You're going to be grateful for the fact that you have that money and you're finally invested in those things. So think in advance of what it is you're grateful for and put this in your morning routine, right? Wake up at a certain time. Honestly, guys, if I wake up at 6 a.m., it's late. It's extremely late. Like if I wake up at 6 a.m., everything else is late that day. So it didn't start up that way. I used to wake up at 10 in the morning. I used to just want to lay in the bed, especially in the winter. Oh my God, it's the most comfortable time ever. But as I started transitioning as a nurse, I realized that a lot of things had to change. And that included waking up in the morning and getting control of my day. Because at first, waking up, it was going to my phone, checking out social medias and emails and unnecessary stuff. But I had to learn the art of being in charge, being in control of your day. And how can you do that? Here's one little hack. When you wake up, okay, your notebook and your pen is right there. Say a prayer, write down your gratitude. And during this time, don't touch your phone. You're telling the world, you're telling the universe, I'm in charge. I got to take care of me first. Okay. I have to, if I don't take care of me first and letting you guys pull me along with you, then that's just how my day is going to go. People are just going to keep pulling me along with them. I have to figure out how I can pull myself or how I can make myself go towards the direction I want to go. So once you have these morning rituals that you do every morning, maybe if you wake up at 5 o'clock, maybe if you wake up at 6 o'clock, what is the things you want to do that sets the tone for the day? It's a lot of things out there. I don't know what your routine is like, but maybe it's time for you to start making some changes. Maybe it's time for you to start saying, oh, okay, um, Christy has to do this first. Let me say this little story. I will be like literally, I can tell when I'm falling off this routine because I feel like at some point I start getting like depressed, so I'm not getting a lot of work done. I'm like, God damn, and nothing is moving. It's like your life just stops, and then I have to go back to the drawing board. I'm looking at it like, okay, yeah, this is what's wrong. You've really been waking up and just going to your phone straight up, but really in reality is I have not been doing what I'm supposed to do every single day. Okay. Another thing is, guys, when you when you go out there, don't let life circumstances dictate your responses to things, because sometimes we have our emotions on our sleeves and we're just ready to like go at it and like boom boom, before somebody says something you're already very so ready to attack. But once you start transitioning, it's something that you really want to watch. And sometimes you just say, okay, okay, or you just walk away from the situation. Maybe it's a heated conversation and you can be like, hey, I got to call you back. Maybe it's time for you to hang up that phone and not be so reactive to a lot of things. And maybe it's time for you to just smile and just let it go. And now that's growth. So when you in like I said, the whole theme is about transitioning from the bedside nurse. So it's a lot of little things that you want to start practicing, a lot of bedside manners that we want to start having. And that's really gonna make your transition a little bit is it's gonna make your transition more smoother than what it was. And but yeah.